If you're wondering really how thin the iPhone 17 Air is, we have a new video from Unbox Therapy showing us a CAD model of the phone, and it is indeed crazy thin. He compares it to CADs of the 17 Pro, and you can see there is a substantial difference. The Air is rumored to be 5.5mm, whereas the 17 Pro is rumored to be 8.725mm in thickness, and Lou does bring up concerns about bending and battery life, but personally I don't think we have to worry too much about this. The M4 iPad Pro actually is even thinner than the rumored iPhone 17 Air, and yet they improved the structural integrity of the device, and so I do have faith Apple can do the same with the 17 Air as well. As for battery life, we have heard about Apple using a higher density battery in this iPhone. Now it makes sense to use a technology with a device that's naturally going to have space constraints because it'll be so thin, and so a high density battery allows a lot of energy to be stored within a small physical space, allowing Apple to possibly fit in a 4,400 mAh battery in this iPhone, which wouldn't be too bad considering the Plus right now has a 4,674 mAh battery. This combined with the fact we should see the very efficient C1 modem means battery life should still be solid on the Air in my opinion, and so there should not be too many compromises because of its thinness. Really the main omission will be the lack of an ultra-wide or telephoto lens, but that main sensor should be the same 14MP lens found on the Pro models. And let's now move on to the Pro models. We have early tidbits on the shades we can expect with the 17 Pro and 17 Air, and it's not really that exciting. John Prosser tells us he's seen a black, white and silver iPhone 17 Pro, though he's unsure if these colours are final, and also blue iPhone 17 Air. Now I do want to mention colours are finalised a little later I believe, once mass production is in full swing, and so what Prosser says could be wrong, and I'm low-key hoping it is wrong. I've been hoping and praying that with the switch to aluminium on iPhone 17 Pro, we could see more exciting colours with the Pro models, and silver, black and white is not that exciting. I'm sure Apple will offer a standard black and white option as always, but I do hope that similar to the regular models we do see more bright shades of red, green or blue on the Pro phones, as it is much easier to colour aluminium than titanium. The blue 17 Air sounds nice though, and I hope it can live up to the ultramarine on the 16. That was a beautiful shade. You know what would be a beautiful thing for you to do? If you click that subscribe button, of course. It's free and would give you the latest about Apple right to subscription box, so please consider it. Join the Saranbyte gang now. Prosser also says that Pro Max will just be a bigger version of the Pro, and some may be thinking he's just stating the obvious, but actually we have heard news the 17 Pro Max may have a smaller island that doesn't come to the regular Pro. In previous years, the Pro Max has sometimes gotten exclusive features that would be camera related, and so it seems this early rumor about a smaller island coming to the 17 Pro Max is actually false. And to be honest, I always thought it never made sense the Pro Max only adopted that. Whenever we do see a smaller island, expect that to come to both models since it is a visual refresh. Now let's talk about the displays on the iPhone 17 Pro. Leaker Instant Digital has told us the glass on these iPhones are not only getting more scratch resistant, but also getting an anti-reflective coating similar to the Galaxy S24 and S25 Ultra. This was a game changer on these phones. It really made a difference outdoors, and so I'm very excited this is now coming to the iPhone. A more scratch resistant display is great too, because ever since Ceramic Shield was introduced, it seems the Air can scratch these iPhone displays, and so durability improvement is appreciated, but I'm way more excited about the anti-reflective display. And yes, I know the anti-reflective display won't make a difference if you use a screen protector, but regardless, for those who don't use a screen protector, improving visibility outdoors would be nice. If you're hoping to see faster charging iPhones, we have news. That won't be the case with iPhone 17. Analyst Jeff Pugh tells us the complete iPhone 17 range will support 35W wide charging, which is about the same as the iPhone 16 series. I know some may be bummed out by this considering lots of Android phones support 50W charging speeds, but honestly I'm not too annoyed by this. I'd much rather Apple give us larger batteries that improve the endurance and make these phones last longer, in which case you would only have to charge the phone overnight. Now let's move on to the camera. So according to John Prosser, Apple introduced a new feature where you can record from the front facing and rear facing camera at the same time. I say new in quotations because I'm pretty sure you could do this natively on the Galaxy S4, a phone from 2013. So it's nice to see that Apple's finally catching up with the competition. But what's funny is that apparently this very basic feature is going to be a Pro exclusive. I understand they want to tout the Pro phones more as a content creation machine, and yes, a feature like this is most useful for creatives, but it's also something the base models should easily be able to do, and so I really hope they didn't software lock this to the Pro phones. By the way, I'm aware third-party applications like Snapchat already allow you to do this, but natively offering this would be great too, and as I said, it is about time. Next, let's talk about the telephoto on iPhone 17 Pro. So for those unaware, we have heard a lot about a new 14 megapixel telephoto lens coming to the 17 Pro. This was the last lens still on 12 megapixels, as the main camera had moved to 14 megapixels with the 14 Pro, and the ultra-wide lens had moved to 14 megapixels with the 16 Pro. Now with the telephoto switching to 14 megapixels, Apple plans to apparently offer 3.5x optical zoom instead of the 5x currently offered on the 15 and 16 Pro Max. You may think this sounds like a downgrade, but 3.5x optical zoom is equivalent to 85mm, which is better for portraits, and that's what most use a telephoto for in the first place. Also do remember, like the main 14 megapixel sensor with its 2x digital crop, having a high resolution telephoto means digital zoom will get better, and so you can still zoom in and get high resolution photos with this 17 Pro. You get a maximum of 25x digital zoom with the 16 Pro Max, and so maybe expect this to be 30 or 40x with the 17 Pro Max, whilst offering higher quality photos at those high zoom levels. Now let's delve into new cases showing us the ginormous camera module on the iPhone 17 Pro. These case leaks come courtesy of Sonny Dixon, who's a pretty credible source, and the cases themselves aren't very exciting. They're just regular clear cases with MagSafe. However, you can see there is a large cutout that spans the entire width of the device, and that's going to encompass the familiar triple lens camera on the left, but the LiDAR, scanner, mic and flash will now move to the right side. By the way, if you're wondering why Apple's giving us such a massive camera bump on this year's iPhone, I think it's because of the telephoto lens. Obviously, the telephoto will have to be stacked sideways, and so maybe more space is required for the larger telephoto, hence why they're moving the LiDAR, mic and flash to the right sides and giving us this much bigger camera bar. Now, the regular iPhone 17 does not look very different and is near identical to the iPhone 16, but we do get another look at the 17 Air in a new leaked image, and actually Sonny Dixon before this had shared a case for the 17 Air, which shows the visor design similar to Pixel devices. However, as you can see, there will only be one camera lens on the left side of the device, and the mic and flash will be on the right. Now, there is no cutout below the camera bar on the 17 Air, which does make me think the back panel is going to be completely glass, similar to current iPhones, and only the camera bar could be aluminium. Also, we can see MagSafe is here, so for those worrying this might be too thin to fit MagSafe, thankfully that's not the case. The 17 Air also has space for the action button as well as camera control, so yes, despite it being 5.5mm in thickness, you are still getting flagship hardware features. Also, forgot to mention this earlier, but Apple's actually shrunk this 17 Air ever so slightly to 6.6 inches just to prevent it from bending, because initially the plan was to make the 6.9 inches just like the Pro Max, but apparently that would make it prone to bending. So yeah, good call Apple, 6.6 inches is still big enough. That's what she said. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.